than soO and GuMiho. So let's go into this and see what's going to happen. Game number 1 of this best of 3. We start to the bottom left hand side with our blue Terran player from Storm Gaming. Give it up if you're cheering on GuMiho. It's going up against the pink Zerg to the upper right hand side. It's soO. Again, thanks for joining us today, guys. If you are enjoying the stream, remember you can hit that follow button to see when we go live again in the future with more StarCraft 2 action. And if you're really enjoying the stream, you can, of course, support the channel by subscribing, donating, and sharing. It helps me to stay as a full-time StarCraft 2 caster, streamer, and content producer, event organizer, and so on. And, obviously, you get some benefits as well. If you subscribe, you can get the replay packs. There's 350 replays from August and the start of September to be given to you guys already as soon as you subscribe. Plus the rest of the replay packs throughout the month. We send them out every 1 or 2 weeks. And, on top of that, it is September, remember, so you can subscribe for half price if you're not already a sub. Great chance to support any channel on Twitch that you kind of enjoy, that you maybe don't usually think of supporting, but want to in a way. Maybe you have some money issues or whatever. It's a great chance to with them half price subs. If you see that Twitch Prime, then give that little sub button a click, because it might say you can subscribe for free if you have that Twitch Prime. Put it to use, make good use of it. May as well use it, no need to just let it sit there as we set up into game number 1 of this best of 3 on Anomaly. I do love the kind of way this map is laid out. Again, it made me get interested. It made me get on board. This is our second map of the 3 in the new map section of the finalists. The third and final map from the new maps that we haven't seen yet is Arch of Janus. Of maps we haven't seen yet, Battle of the Boardwalk, Octane. It was actually vetoed out of this series right now. Eastwatch is going to be seen in this series as well as Backwater, and we also haven't seen Neotropicana. So again, after this, we're going to have seen a lot of the maps, though. This will have been 12 maps of the entire map finalists we will have seen. That leaves with only 4 maps left to see, and after the next series, we'll have seen 15 of the 16 finalists. Did you see those Zerglings? Doing a little bit of back and forth right now. That Reaper going to grenade that drone up into the sky, and again, those Zerglings just going to try and chase that Reaper down. Again, so far the expansions are coming in fairly standard, and again it is weird because, okay, there is pathways you can use to kind of get across, but as the later game comes around, there is that, there is that sort of, you know, the sort of more difficulty of actually moving across here, and you have to kind of go around instead, and obviously that becomes a little bit intriguing. 47 is in the chat with the squid. It does look a bit like Anomaly, the squid, doesn't it? The up and down, the wavy arm. That's a good one. Like that call out. Like that. 2-1-1 opening here from GuMiho, looking to apply pressure early and go from there. One of the interesting things is that there isn't a lot of directions to clean up creeping on this map for the Terran player. And that's something that will be kind of very one-dimensional about it. So that'd be kind of intriguing. Another Queen on the way up, and again, just going to be seeing a starport building next to the reactor in factory, so that we see the first 2 medevacs come out. We all know the intricacies of the 2-1-1. We know when it hits, it'll be in about a minute or so, and we know what it's intended to do: clean up creep force units and just give the Terran a safe transition into the mid game while applying pressure so that they are in somewhat control, more so than, you know, the Zerg just being, you know, more so than just sort of, yeah, they're just in control. You can apply pressure. It's your kind of your own fate in your own hands. In terms of how you play it, will always bring you out in a good position if you play it properly, and that's the strength of that 2-1, and that's why it's been used for what, like a year and a half now, nearly. It became a thing in April of 2016. I remember the date because it was the Home Story Cup qualifiers where Terrans were just consistently back to back to back were using this kind of 2-1-1 build order, and they've just been so successful with it. Baroness on the way from soO. It's a bit early for 2-1-1 actually, because usually you get the Baroness for the second wave of Marines. First wave doesn't really need Baroness to deal with it, just Ling Queen. Maybe a little bit afraid of a Hellbat attack, but now he sees the Marines, obviously knows what it is, but not worth cancelling the actual Baroness, as he lifts up 16 Marines, and off we go. GuMiho flying across the map. So GuMiho flying across here. Let's see what he can maybe get up to. It's going to be seeing 24 Lings just on the way. Obviously, soO again having to make units to make sure you can defend this. Up on the 47 drones, but plenty of units now to defend. Plenty of Queens to target medevacs. Plenty of Lings to get in front. And here we go. We're going to be seeing already a creep team again picked off at the front. So Creep Tumor just get picked off right there. And again, that's one of the big things GuMiho will be aiming for here. Slowing down creep spread and just slowing soO down in that regard. What's up? I am False, coming in for the Twitch Prime sub as well. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Do appreciate it, man. Give me some love in the chat, please, for I am False and a new Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much indeed, man. Do appreciate it. 11 subs away from our goal of 250, which is just awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for being just such an awesome group of people. You guys are the best. By the way, if you missed any of today's matches, you can watch them again in the future. We're going to be leaving our VODs open. You don't have to subscribe or anything to watch our VODs. You don't have to subscribe to watch our VODs or anything at all. And, yeah. It's kind of nice. So you can watch the matches back straight away. And we'll be rebroadcasting later today as well if you want to kind of watch again with that kind of live Twitch chat feel to it. So it'll be rebroadcasting later. I'm not sure when exactly we're going to set that up. It kind of depends on when the actual stream here today does end. So we'll try and figure that out and see what happens. Anyways, 2 more medevacs coming over to the right-hand side, and we'll be gathering up with these Marines and medevacs that are already here. The second wave of the 2-1-1. Getting ready to strike once again. Bane speed is on the way up. 1-1 upgrades about to finish. The Hydra Den going to be finishing shortly as well. And those Hellions, well, they're coming in from over the left-hand side. They're going to be coming over to see what they can do in the next few moments too. Wolfing into Hellbats. It's all set up. A couple of Creep Tumors will start to fall right away here again. Again, for GuMiho, one of the main things is just sort of pressuring and, you know, slowing down creep. But I like the introduction of the Hellbats. He's got an armory, made a couple of Hellions. Could be interesting as we do see the Hydras starting to come out here. More and more Banes coming up from soO as well. Still just sitting here on the 3 bases. Pushing towards the 4th base is something that might be difficult if GuMiho is able to kind of stick in this position. Although you can set up a bit of a flank here, I guess, by coming up here and then kind of cornering the Terran in. The scary thing about the Terran army right now is the fact that it's large, you know, it's large enough to be a threat, but it's small enough to just lift up into the medevacs that are here and back away at a moment's notice. Is soO going to try and expand up top? He is. Ooh, so that's intriguing. I'm going to try and expand up to the top side instead right now. 8 minutes in, and this game so far setting up fairly standard. A couple of Creep Tumors do go down, and we're going to be seeing some, well, the Hatchery on the 3rd base is actually going to take some damage. Lings will have run in, but I think it might be too late. Queens are there to transfuse, though. They do save the day. Gets some Queen energy for that in the end, as he has to lift up and back away. Marines, a lot of them surviving, but the Hellbats go down. Some Marines fell as well. There's a nice defense by soO. I was really in a belief there that the Hatchery was about to fall. And so those Marines going to be unloading once again just beneath those medevacs. And still some Lings from soO continue to move around. Now he said Snoot there. Snoot not playing today. He's playing in Group C of the competition, guys, on Monday. Snoot, Nurture, Zest, and Innovation is that group. Yes, I know. I am awesome. I do give you guys some pretty awesome StarCraft. It's going to be pretty crazy. All these groups are pretty crazy, honestly, as we're going to be seeing Queens continue to pick away through these medevacs. Also, these Banes continue to be picked away, but actually the medevacs will go down. Maybe GuMiho getting a bit greedy, gets rid of every single Bane lane, but again, losing every single medevac, then, you know, there you have to question, was that worthwhile? It's a bit of a tough one, as we're going to be seeing soO here coming up the right-hand side with these Hydras, a Bane as well, still mixed in. Obviously, we want to get more Banes up. Going into his 2-on-2-2 upgrades, they're very delayed compared to the Terran players. Not really too sure why. As we continue to set up into this. 2 Liberators now coming through the south side of the map to try and do a little bit more here. And as we set on up at the same time, Bane run by in towards the 3rd base, gets 7 workers and a few depots. soO applying some pressure. And he's setting up more Lings to this top side to get a little bit more done as well here over the next few moments. So again, looking to be harassment everywhere in the next few moments. soO and GuMiho really starting to bring it to each other. Well, soO definitely bringing it to GuMiho. GuMiho did a good job up until this point. As you just see these Banes going to start rolling it in again. This time the Bio's already moving up in this direction because GuMiho wants to take this 4th base to the top side. So to take that 4th base, he wants to make sure he can obviously clean out the area first, and that's exactly what he does by picking off that Loon Bane. This Liberator is still not moving any further forwards just yet. And we've seen a few more Zerglings on the way out. And again, the 2-2 upgrades are about to finish here from soO. Single Marine working its way through that overload once more. And a couple of Zerglings from soO coming in. They'll be able to finish picking it off. So the Marine goes down. And we do see the Hive on the way up. So transition game is here now. soO getting ready to go into his later stages of the game. And these 2 Liberators are going to get set to siege up in the back. There's one siege straight onto that main mineral line. Again, the bio just pushing forwards, getting rid of another few Zerglings right there. A few creeps taking damage, and we are going to be seeing the Banes are going to start dropping as well. 3 of them, 4 of them cancelled from the get-go. Now you can see the Widowmine starting to go off, and actually pretty good Widowmine connections here, if I do say so myself. In the meantime, the Liberator's got 7 worker kills, but now have to be pulled back. Well, now got taken down. This army's pulling back, though. All of a sudden, GuMiho's in the supply lead. soO with a lot of money that he just hasn't spent quite yet. 15 Hydras, 10 Banes, and 30 Zerglings. More Zerglings on the way up. Ultra Cavern dropping free on the way. soO's starting to spend that money, but may not be enough immediately to actually just save the day. This bio spreading out right now, as we're going to be seeing the Hydras continue to work their way through this. Marines pushing forwards as well as Banes keep rolling on in, and a few of them getting taken down. Is there enough here from soO to keep fighting this? I don't think there is. And in a few seconds time, there's going to be free for GuMiho as well, and that's just going to get even better for him now. As we're going to see those Banes continue to get picked off, Hydras continue to fall, and this Queen continue to go down too. And what you say is soO's just been broken here, almost out of nowhere. Like soO just sort of disappeared in terms of supply. He was doing great in terms of supply. Then suddenly GuMiho just had way too much, and boom, just like that. GuMiho, one of the weirder maps. Blackwater would be like super standard, and again, it could go very long, and we'll see why here in just a second as we jump into game number 2. A 1-0 lead currently for GuMiho. To the bottom right hand side, our pink Zerg player, give it up if you're going to be cheering on soO. Just a casual rematch of the GSL Season 2 finals, by the way. Just in case you preferred that GSL finals rather than the TVP you saw today. And to the top left hand side, the red Terran player, of course, GuMiho from Psystorm Gaming. So let's look at Backwater, mapped by Avex. Bottom right hand side, we do see this kind of main base is fairly standard. Again, I feel for Terran players, it might get a little bit convoluted. I guess you got a lot of space here to build production, but it's very exposed this side to mutas, etc. But yeah, I guess like the natural expansion becomes very normal. You move down the ramp, you take it, it's kind of set back. You got a choice of third bases as well, which is this one up here. A couple of line of sight blockers up towards it, but actually very difficult to push into in general from there. In fact, is it even possible at all? I don't think so. I mean, this map is just completely blocked off there, right? It sort of looks like this might be a pathway. I think it's like a Reaper pathway, right? Like a Reaper cliff. But outside of that, it is just very easy to take base, expanding upwards. Problem is, if you do expand upwards, then what do you do from there? I mean, you can also expand like through the south side as well, or through the north side if you had GuMiho in the game. I mean, it's kind of weird actually. I wonder which one, because actually, I mean, this base sort of seems like it flows much better into the 4th base and the 5th base. But this base is much better protected against ground armies, but much worse against drops, I think. So again, it's a nice kind of choice between expansions here, moving in towards the 3-4 bases, and we'll create some different scenarios. We'll see how the players expand in this game. Game 2 currently of GuMiho soO. Why is Wardy selling undies? Is this some meme unknown to you? No, it's just a sponsor. They sponsor the channel for the month. Like, it's not a meme, it's not anything like that. It's literally just the channel sponsor for this month. As we do continue to set up in towards this guy's fairly slow early game. Gives us a chance to look in the center. Honestly, when we were kind of talking about this map, this was one of the maps which we were not too impressed with the center in, I think, when they were judging it. It's just kind of a bit of an up and down. It's kind of just one large pathway, and kind of this path here that people aren't really going to use, I think we sort of felt. Which kind of leads it to kind of just these kind of, again, this sort of section here, which is a bit weird. And the watchtowers are kind of interesting as well, because I don't really feel as though the watchtower, I guess the watchtowers cover over here. Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Loving this map so far, says Dio Clichen's. I mean, that's the thing as well, from what you can sort of see, and what you can kind of actually see when, from what you see kind of looking at an overview of a map and kind of jumping in game quickly to what you can see from players playing a map is very different. That's why the tournament phase of this Team Liquid map contest is so important. Obviously, when you've got some of the best players on the world, it's very interesting to see, just how it, just how they utilize the maps, because these are the sort of players that do get creative, that do have the potential to change things up on a whim, to change things up super quickly. Sweeper is currently working its way through that hatchery. Zergling's picking that Reaper off. So Reaper does go down there. Liberator is on the way up from GuMiho too. We are going to see the Medivac lifting up a Cyclone inside the 4 Marines as well. And they're going to be coming down the left to see what else is happening. Lock on from the Cyclone. We are going to be seeing Cyclone just pushing that Overlord away. So Overlord getting pushed away down the left side here. And again, we're going to see some Marines unloading to help push that Overlord away as well. Again, a few more Marines unloading once more. Nice little pick-offs here. GuMiho just doing some damage early, slowing his opponent down with this Medivac, which has 4 Marines and a Cyclone. And we'll look around for more damage here in the next few moments. Liberator comes out as well for GuMiho, something you can utilize here, of course, in the next few minutes as we continue to set up in towards this. See some Marines and a Cyclone going to drop down over here, and this drone getting picked off. Spore forced to cancel, and again, just more damage being done. A Queen actually going to go down. Targets the Queen of Energy, of course, to minimize transfuse potential. Man, these Marines are taking forever to drop this Medivac, just consistently healing, and GuMiho, some good damage being done right now, as you are going to see this Queen is very nearly falling down as well. So again, Queen's doing some bits and pieces. Still some Lings moving around here and there, and seeing what else is going down. And the Hydra's Den coming on up as well. So soO just setting up into Ling Vein Hydra as his way to play against GuMiho here. Continue to set up in towards all of this, and we're going to be seeing a 4th hatch dropping down as well. The Queens were quite far forwards here. We're going to start pulling back over to the right hand side once again. 1 more upgrade still coming through, plus 1 Carapace coming in as well. Third orbital set up on the left hand side. 1 more upgrades coming through here from soO. Again, his 1 more upgrades are very late compared to the 1-1 of GuMiho, which is something fairly interesting. Both players, by the way, did take this base here. I think actually looking at it a bit more in game, it really is obvious this is the base you want to take, right? Just going to pop a depot here to stop anything kind of maybe dropping there as easily. Obviously, the 4th base you can push out to as well. GuMiho still playing the bio style. See some Marines just stemming on forwards, and we are going to see potentially a scan here in the next few moments to get rid of the creep tumors. Ling's going to come in, force around. Bane's going to try and be target fired down, and a nice little bit of a nice little moment or two right there, just between the two of them. Just a few moments, just waiting to see what the next sort of play is going to be. But there is actually, while this push comes in the center, a drop down to the south side as well. And so's starting to kind of just be all over the place, trying to push that back in to defend against this. This Medivac does get forced to lift. He just checks over there to see this few Lings that are still chasing away as well. And just putting his first person view up there for a second to give you guys a bit of a look into the beauty that is so's play. What's up, Mr. That's not the right button. Ah, you don't want to see me. Sorry, guys. Misclicked there on the X splits. Thank you very much, Mr. Compacto, coming in for the Twitch Prime sub as well right there. I do appreciate. As we do see the Marines continue to work their way through the making their way through these creep tumors. Someone asking if these maps are available to play, by the way, guys. Yes, they are. If you search on any server, closed bracket or square bracket TLMC9, or just search TLMC9 with no space, you should find all of these maps available to be played. Should be fairly easy to locate, as we see some Banes getting some good connections over here. Chunk of Marines are going down. A Widowmine burrowing in the center as well. A couple of Hydras and a Queen getting pushed away down towards the lower right, and Creep continuing to be cleaned up right now. Wings and Hydra still pushing on forwards, and again, these Medivacs of GuMiho just going to lift up and back away through the top. Widowmine goes off, and a few more Zerglings are picked away at right there. GuMiho, again, far ahead on the 2-2. Definitely something which is good for him after what wasn't a nice moment or so there. Those Banes really looking to do quite a bit of damage for a moment. So it was a little bit scary. Marines just simming again, and we're just going to be seeing splitting away. These Banes going to try and connect. A few more Marines going down. And again, these Lings still actually pushing through. The Hydras in the back are actually really dealing a lot of damage right now, and it is going to be GuMiho getting pushed all the way away. Another Bane getting picked off, and again, Hydra's continuing to fight against these units, continue to push this all the way back. Marines and Marauders stimming once again, and we are just going to be seeing a Bane line picked off at the very back end of that there. Another scan coming down. 30 more Lings on the way up, 2 upgrades, 30 Marines and 2 Widow Mines. Production tabs are busy with production here as GuMiho is, well, full of army supply. GuMiho needs a quick pause. Hopefully nothing too much of an issue. Nay, says soO, which is no, I think. A couple of moments and hopefully we get this fixed. See, puts a little bit of face in the chat. Alright, a couple of moment or two. I thought it was asking if you had lag, but
game resumed.
Gonna resume then. So, getting back into this. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think soO had the lags. I knew that meant no. Thank you, Crank, for the translation. Shout out to all of our multiple broadcasting language partners today, guys. We've got Korean, Polish, Russian, German. There'll be a French stream later as well, I believe, by O Gaming. So we see some Lings, Hydras, and Banes going to run on forwards. We're going to be seeing a lot of these well, fights happening all over the place now. Ling run by as the main base becomes the fourth. It's going to relocate there right now as we still just set up in towards all of this. And there's still a lot of skirmishes here. It's kind of a weird one because it is such a large map. This was submitted to the macro category. And so it is a large map. It is intended to be kind of a longer game. You can already see like so much creep up the right side through the center. I'm actually really starting to love this map a little bit because it really is super exciting to see just such a large map. Like, we don't usually see such a large map this day, which is open and has multiple attack paths. Usually when we think of larger maps nowadays, they're usually like, you know, or macro maps nowadays, they're like Dust Towers or Proxima, which is not really large, but it's like, it's macro because there's only very few attack paths, you know? I really like this one. I really like this one so far. A couple creep teamers getting taken down. A few creep teamers getting picked away out here as we see Zerglings from soO continue to move in towards the third base right here. Going to be seeing SCVs. Maybe going down in a moment or two, and the Marines continue to work their way through a bunch of these Lings. A lot of damage being done, actually. The Lings will get cleaned up now. He'll continue to push across. He's down to 54 workers. soO on 80. Obviously has a good economy to work with here as he splits up the Ling Bane Hydra. Ultras on the way for soO. He only needs to survive a little while longer, and he's going to be set up into those Ultras in that late game, which is where he finds a new wave of kind of power in the game. I mean, he doesn't actually have Chitinous finish just yet. It's on the way, halfway done. Hydra's still fighting here. Another wave of Marine Marauder coming in, but actually already low health. And if the Medivacs are all over here, well, the Marine Marauder is very exposed to the left side. A lot of the Medivacs actually out of energy as well anyways, so they won't be able to kind of change too much. That's going to be seeing the Ultra continue to chase down. And Widowmine actually blows up a Medivac right there, so I think GuMiho might kind of be out of options right now. A few more abducts coming in. That is a lag spike. And I think GuMiho is definitely feeling some pain right here in game number 2. That lag is definitely noticeable on our end as well, I think. As we're going to see soO coming in, gets this around, and GuMiho will GG out. Game 2 goes to soO. This is exciting. All of these series today, longer bit of downtime between this one and the previous games. Just obviously had to wait for GuMiho to reset. Would rather him play without lag than with lag if it is becoming an issue. Why don't we play on the Korean server so the players have no lag? Of course we're playing on the Korean server. We're not making them play on Europe. There is Korean server, but, you know, sometimes even if you play on your home server, there is, you know, if your internet's dropping or something, you're just having some lag, basically. So it is Korean server when it's Korea versus Europe, as it will be for the Optimus matches. It will be played on NA Central. We operate on a fairer server basis where there's not, you know, there's not a preferred server or anything. It's Korea versus Europe is NA Central. The fairest between the both. Korea versus NA is NA West. Korea versus Korea is Korea. NA versus NA is NA. You know what I mean. So we operate on a, you know, a lot. You know, what I call like the common sense. What I call the common sense servers, I suppose. Damn, this lineup. Yeah, I really wanted to make a lineup that was a bit different and unique in the sense that it had a good mix of Koreans and foreigners, while also picking the top Koreans and foreigners, while also having to balance out the fact that we needed kind of enough players of each race in each group. I think we did a pretty darn good job of it, if I'm going to be honest with myself. Honestly, this lineup's like insane. It's pretty sweet. Alright, so let's do this. So the bottom left-hand side is going to be our red Terran player from Sidestorm Gaming, GuMiho, coming into this after dropping game number 2. And to the upper right, our pink Zerg is going to be soO. By the way, maybe not mentioning this map Eastwatch by Ezael. We saw one of his maps earlier. Actually, I think he has 3 maps in the finalists. He's got Neotropicana, one which we're probably going to be seeing in the next series. He also has God's Garden, one we saw earlier between GuMiho and Hero. And after this, there's only a handful of maps that we're yet to see. Coming up in the next series will be maps such as Octane, that we haven't seen just yet, potentially Ark of Janus, Battle on the Boardwalk, and other ones haven't we seen. Neotropicana, I think I just said, we're probably maybe going to see that one. So, yeah. Getting to the point where we're starting to have seen the majority of the maps, though. Been fairly positive experiences throughout the majority of these so far, I would say. I don't think there's been many which I've been looking at and being like, oh, I don't like the way this is played or something, but, you know, we still have Arch of Janus to go, so the opportunity for that to happen is there. What's up, Lumia4814 coming in with that sub? Again, it is September, and so every new sub is half price, so thank you for taking advantage of that and subscribing to the channel. 8 subs to 250, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting. I really do appreciate it. Some love in the chat, please, some hearts and so on. Thank you very much, Lumia, for subscribing. Imita's Carapace soO looking to play a fairly standard game, and I really do feel the third hatch will come just down over here. I think this gold really is quite far away to hold. It's holdable later game. I don't think it's holdable for, you know, third base sort of standards. One of those bases the Terran definitely lifts up and floats to, though, isn't it? This is almost definitely a Terran lift up and float to gold. Skill base here is, yeah, you can see a Terran player lifting up there and dropping down there. I can see that 100%. That's going to happen at some point. Long best of C is only fun if the players are very even. Yeah, I mean, arguably yes, but the whole point of this is that we're playing on new maps, right? So even if one, obviously, I think the point is, sure, I get that, but I mean at the same time, like, how do we get to a finals in this tournament where the players are not somewhat even? You know, it's pretty difficult. It's pretty stacked. It's not like we have innovation versus like the mid-tier GM of NA or something. It's it should be pretty good. We'll see. I mean, obviously, it's a bit of a different tournament format for me. Hopefully, it's something you guys enjoy. I tried to come up with something which I really was the best to represent all the maps, give us something a bit different, give us a way to to show the maps. I really felt that that was a big part of the importance of kind of setting this tournament up. Gonna be seeing this Queen injecting up here. I haven't really talked much about the map while being in game. We talked about that gold base a little bit. Again, you move down to the third quite easily, and then moving down towards the fourth. Well, you probably take this fourth here in a forward location, right? Again, lots of chokes, lots of different pathways in the map. It made it interesting in the center because of the different walls that kind of block bits and pieces. We're going to bypass kind of the walls and the idea of kind of moving around the map by dropping around the map instead. You'll be seeing 2 full medevacs, 16 Marines going to come over here as part of his 2-1-1 build order. And so I guess he's lagging out again here. So we're having some real lag issues right now. It's a bit of a shame, because obviously we don't run into... Oh, that was a mill, apparently. Or maybe a mill might just be memeing, I'm not even sure anymore. As you're going to see these lings are pushing forwards. Medevacs will boost back. GuMiho continue to pull back here, and one medevac does go down. All the lings get cleaned out, though. All the lings for medevac and a few of the Marines. It's okay. It's pretty decent. Just going to be seeing the Marines coming up here, and we are going to see Creep Tumor starting to be cleaned on out, so again, a little bit more damage being done. Are these community maps? Yes, these are part of the Team Liquid map contest. So the Team Liquid map contest number 9 finalists. And did the players play on them before? They probably haven't played proper matches on them before, but they were given the map list in advance, and they were asked as part of the tournament, as part of the deal of signing up and playing and being guaranteed money just for showing up, even if you go 0-9. Part of the deal was you at least look through the maps and have an idea of what they are. And honestly, you can tell the players have done so because of the way they've been vetoing and the way they've been, you know, we've not really seen anyone making a massive mistake on the map yet, you know, we've been seeing them take caution. We've seen GuMiho even taking advantage of certain positions on the map. You know, we saw Neon Violet Lights. He actually kind of used the map to actually block off some stalkers with siege tank drop. It's really cool. So, you know, while they may not have played on them, these are the players that are some of the best in the world, and they're very good at being innovative. And so, again, we might not see the whole, you know, the biggest tricks of the trade being used on each map, but I think the players are good enough to show us how they're generally going to play. Two medevacs going to come in towards the center. And a few Hellions coming in here as well. Fed CC will land towards the gold. So that's, you know, this is the thing. I think the Terran player can take the risk of taking the gold. You know, we're talking about taking the third base as a goal. I was thinking mostly in the terms of the Zerg early in the game. But I think the Terran definitely can set up. I mean, they're the one that's going to be applying pressure, right? And so if you're applying pressure, you're not the one that has to worry about kind of, you know, your rocks going down, etc. Navas will take the lead on this as they want to soak up those banelings, allowing the Marines in the back to do quite a bit of damage. Some drones going to be pulling away, and Queen's trying to get on top of these medevacs as well. Some nice defense from soO. He doesn't take too much damage here at all. 4 drones lost. GuMiho loads up, relocates down to the bottom right, and we'll get ready to push it in again while mining off of that gold base. Spire on the way up from soO. We're yet to see any Lingbane Muta here so far today. That said, I guess it is our first TVZ series of the day. So we're going to see some Lingbane Muta, which could be a pretty fun way to see how that plays out. Mutas make a lot of sense versus Hydras on this map because obviously with a lot of kind of choke points and, you know, the ground army movements being a bit more difficult, sticking to a highly mobile composition such as Lingbane Muta will be just a little bit more preferable to, you know, Lingbane Hydra, which is still very mobile, but the Hydras will struggle more with this map than Mutas will, and that might just tilt the odds in favor of going Mutas instead. 4th base from soO will be on the gold base as well, so setting up in towards this. And you're just going to be seeing 2-2 upgrades still on the way from GuMiho. Game after game here, soO is finding himself behind heavily when it comes to 2-2 upgrades. And I really do mean behind heavily. I'm not really sure why that is. I'm not sure what he's doing to kind of be caught so far behind on those upgrades time and time again. It's a little bit weird, a little bit interesting. I was going to be seeing some of these Marines going to be dropping on down here. Ling's going to run on in, and they're going to get us around, going to force these Marines to lift up again. He actually takes the chance to target fire down some Banelings. Again, GuMiho with some nice target fire in there to make the most of that. +1 flyer attack, +2 carapace on the way up. Upgrade still rolling through here. Medevacs unloading again down to the left-hand side, and still over here. As Mutas come in, it makes this drop play a little bit more difficult. This is the new Muta skin. I have to say it's one of the funnier skins I think I've seen in the game. You do see more units coming up in this direction. Widowmine goes off to claim Mutalisk. And then it is a, actually might have been a Zerg that was leading the charge right there. As we're just going to be seeing again, Lings and Banes going back up towards the upper right-hand side. Infestation Pit coming up to being about halfway done. 2-2 will be finishing shortly, and again as that 2-2 finishes, Infestation Pit is also going to be finishing shortly too. Couple Widow Mines on the way out. Marines and then Marauder continue to push in towards the upper side. Gold base here from soO. Let's continue to set up, and again just going to be seeing the Marines and Marauders still working their way through these Crypt Tumors. Another few Marines just going to stim on ahead. +3 armor coming up from GuMiho. +3 weapons as well potentially. I'm just going to be seeing that Hive tech on the way from soO now also. So Hive on the way up, allowing him to go in towards this sort of, you know, later game setup as we saw previously. Him getting into Ultras was a very scary feature that GuMiho wasn't really able to deal with on Backwater. And we see soO. Creep spread all over the center of the map, by the way. Really is all over the shop as he takes a 5th base as well. GuMiho focusing on this left-hand side push, but he is also going to have a push starting to come up through the center as well now. So setting up in a couple of different locations, maybe looking to see what he can do. soO's going to start coming around this way himself. He's actually going to run into this army. Honestly, I don't think he'll be afraid of this attack. soO's got the majority of his army here, and he knows for a fact that a lot of the GuMiho army is on the other side. You'll see on the minimap, GuMiho's starting to retreat away from this as soO looking to find a way to push in. The bio there holding the choke point for just a few moments. You're going to be seeing this bio again pushing towards the upper right again. Lings and Muta's going to work their way through these rocks. So rocks taking some hits as well. You're just going to see creep gems continue to be picked away at. So, creep's being picked away at. And, yeah, GuMiho's still pushing up here. So, how does soO deal with that? I mean, he might be opening up these rocks to just go straight up counterattack, and that does seem to be the case. So, we'll follow that counterattack in. You can already see it. I mean, it's a bit more slow-paced up here, actually. Maybe let's swap screens around and go and focus on this one. You can see those mutas coming in here, able to kind of push in and actually clean up a lot of this. Let's actually go back, because this fight's going to start happening over here right now. Bane's rolling on forwards. A lot of Marines staying alive. There's a Widowmine left at the end too. Both players are dropping heavily in supply. Those mutas starting to do a lot, and now starting to break through into towards the front. He's actually going to be able to get that engineering bay, which is upgraded, and that's happening in the picture-in-picture, guys. As we do keep focused on this, pushing the front though, because soO still has to defend against this as well. A lot of low health Marines here. Queens with transfuses. I mean, the Marines just have to lift him back away. No Banes, but it doesn't really matter. And meanwhile, GuMiho is losing the reinforcements on the other side of the map, because those mutas are just camping his reinforcement lines. Queen's trying to still be a part of this. We see a few more Banes just continuing to morph on in. That second engineering bay has just fallen as well. Mutas still seeing what they can do, and finally seem to be coming back home. So mutas have had enough of harassing. They're going to turn back and come and help out over here instead now. Obviously wants to try and get these medevacs, knowing that there isn't going to be much else on the ground to really protect those medevacs once these Marines go down. Comes in, we'll get the Liberator. Looks as though he's not going to go for the medevacs with enough Marines still up to protect from the Mutalisks. And soO does hold on. He's got a lot of money in the bank. GuMiho has some too. GuMiho in the supply lead at the moment, but I feel as though soO can get back into it, and I also feel soO does have ultras, right? So with the ultras coming up shortly, it should be that something a little bit different for him to really be able to work with here. But he doesn't actually have them yet. 2 on the way, Kindness Plate and starting. He has to buy a little time. And still gathering up together then, as we do just see the free upgrades of soO continue to come on in. Planetary Force to the left-hand side. GuMiho's 4th base being set up here. His gold base almost mined out at this stage. soO is going to be taking a bit longer, because obviously he expanded towards it a little bit later. I don't really feel like these were bad gold bases. You know, they were kind of, for TVZ at least, they were, you know, they were expandable too. It was difficult to hold these spots. You know, soO really took a lot of pressure towards his gold. GuMiho didn't, but it feels as though soO could have maybe put some more effort towards running by in that direction, which would have made things difficult if he was focusing up the left. I kind of like the way these gold bases have worked out in this, you know, specific game right now. I can definitely see them maybe being problematic in, you know, other games at points potentially. You know, yes, again, that's why we do see so many of these. You know, so many of these kind of, you know, that's why you have so many games to see on each of these maps, basically. So SCV's mid-map are misrallied, and they are going to get back over here. GuMiho continue to expand and keeping a strong economy, so he's getting ready to push again. It's funny that soO is actually on free upgrades before GuMiho, and that's just the consequences of, well, first of all, he didn't actually let his, you know, he never started +3 attack. So losing the double engineering bay was a shame, but it only slowed down the armor upgrade, really. Obviously then you have to rebuild the engineering base, but it does get +3 attack started eventually now. So we'll be fighting with the upgraded advantage for a few moments though. And this is just going to be seeing the, well, the bio army of GuMiho moving around up the top side. A few of these ultras going to work their way through these rocks. These rocks are being taken down here, and as the rocks fall, just going to be seeing a couple of Liberators sieging on up. Just going to be given the possibility of helping out against this. In fact, 2 ultras misrally themselves over here, probably because of the harassment between Marines and medevacs all over the place elsewhere. And soO losing a couple of ultras because he just missed his attention there for a moment or so. And that hurts. He's going down as these Marines keep on fighting. The medevacs under fire. GuMiho going to make a push through the center, and now sieges up the 5th base of soO. And soO's just going to have to come in and fight this. He does not want to lose that 5th base, knowing his gold base 4th is going to mine out shortly. He would be left with very little economy. He's actually able to get rid of the Corruptors, the Liberators very easily with Muta Corruptor. And actually still pushing forwards here. He's been feeling kind of okay about it. Only just now is GuMiho going to start stutter stepping. As Banes are going to start rolling in. GuMiho is not really splitting up just yet. GuMiho's going to type out GG as he loses so much to that set of Banes. And soO will bounce back from an earlier defeat against